Yes.
All right, it is 5 o'clock. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. We will go ahead and get started with our work session for the June 17th council meeting next week. First on the agenda is approval of minutes, May 13th, 2024, 5 p.m. council work session, June 3rd, 2024, 5 p.m. council work session, and June 3rd, 2024, 6 p.m. council meeting. Any questions? Approve monthly bills, approve May 2024 monthly bills. Any questions? All right, public hearings, resolution 24109, approve request for off-premise beer and wine license by Circle K Stores Incorporated doing business as Circle K Store, 270-9305 at 1126 6th Avenue Southeast, Decatur, Alabama. Emma.
In the Andrews Revenue Department, this is the second location that was purchased by Circle K Stores. It used to be a MAPCO, so they are now obtaining their own alcohol license.
All right, any questions? All right, weed abatements. Okay, any questions on any of the weed abatements? That goes A through N. All right, resolutions. Resolution 24124, accept donation from the Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition for Decatur Fire and Rescue.
Yes, sir. Tracy Thornton Fire Department. We applied for a grant from them, and they supplied it $750. It's going to go towards CRR events, community risk reduction events.
Okay, any questions? All right, resolution 24125, approve agreement with Pewright McAnally for design and project management of groundwater interceptor lines at the landfill.
On to title landfill and recycling. Well, it's time again to, we're ready for some preliminary work for opening up new sales for C&D and also for the garbage side of things. Pewright McAnally, this proposal, they would take care of the plans, the specifications, and also the bid process for this drainage system that we need.
Okay, any questions? Thanks, Wanda. Resolution 24126, award bid number 24017R to Fast Lap LLC, McCleary Tire for automotive maintenance and repair, being the lowest responsible bidder. Jeremy?
Sir, Jeremy Sherrill, procurement. This is an annual contract that is renewable for up to 3 years. We had our bid opening on May 21st, had 2 respondents, and we are recommending Fast Lap, which is McCleary Tire, as the lowest responsible bidder.
All right, any questions? All right, resolution 24127, approve Decatur Morgan County Hospitality Association for the purchase of 3 E-Z-Go golf carts in the amount of $27,059. Don?
Good evening, Council. Don Duckminer, Decatur Morgan County Hospitality Association. As mentioned, this is the purchase of 3 golf carts to assist with events. I did get 3 bids, and this was the lowest of the 3 bids that we did get. So, and this is used in room occupancy funds.
Okay. Any questions? Did they already approve this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions? All right, resolution 24128, award bid number 24019 to Burcor Fencing for fencing supplies needed for Sportsplex.
Yes, sir. Bids of fencing supplies for Sportsplex. We opened the bids on May 28th. 4 respondents, and we recommend Burcor, lowest responsible bidder.
All right, any questions? All right, resolution 24129, approved budget adjustment for Sportsplex and changes to project funding sources.
Kyle Demeester, Finance. You'll remember back in 2022, we received roughly $11 million from the American Rescue Plan Act. Portion of that, there was the standard $10 million allowance, and we obligated that to 3 road projects. The Modus Road widening, Highway 67 and Indian Hills intersection improvements, and Highway 67 and Upper River Road intersection improvements. So to date, we've only spent $504,250. So we've been getting some guidance on some of the rulings and compliance required, and we just don't feel that those 3 projects can be completed in time that's required from the ARPA funds. ARPA says we have to have our project's obligated by 12/31 of this year and then expended by 12/31 of 2026. So, having said all that, in comes the Sportsplex. We feel that that project, A, has the price tag, and B, can be completed in a timely fashion. So essentially what this resolution would do is approve the funding left for the Sportsplex and then switch the funding sources. So the Sportsplex will now be paid for out of the ARPA funds, and the other 3 road projects will be paid out of the 2023 bond proceeds.
Okay.
Just for transparency, the total amount for the budget adjustment on the Sportsplex, you'll remember it's a combination of 2 funding sources. Portion of it was from 3M settlement funds, and then we planned on the 2023 bond proceeds. Having switched that, we've spent all the money from the 3M, and now we're on to this portion of the funding, which is why we're here at council for approval. So essentially what we're doing is allocating $9.4 million from the ARPA funds, and then the little bit left, $863,000 from the 2023 bond money.
All right,
A lot of
any-
moving parts, so if you have questions, please feel free to.
Any questions? I guess my only question / concern is that we are committed to those other projects.
Sure, yeah, we are committed to doing those projects. Essentially, the whole purpose of this is to ensure that we spend our ARPA funds with the time frame it's taking to acquire right away on some of those projects. It does not seem like we would get those road projects.
There's no way we
done.
could get Modus done.
No.
Yeah.
So there's still plans and obligations to do those projects. We're just changing how we pay for them.
Yeah, it's been, when did we?
2022.
2022, and we're 2024, and we're just now getting right-of-way acquired on 67 and Upper River Road, and the one for the roundabout's not complete yet either, so that makes sense.
And attached to that resolution, you can see kind of an itemized breakdown of the project and what we anticipate the total costs in each phase.
All right, any other questions? All right, thanks, Kyle. Short agenda. We will go ahead and move into our public comment. Anything else from directors? Sorry. Okay. We'll go ahead and move into our public comment portion of the meeting. I'm just going to go in order as it was everyone signed in. And we'll start with Mike Stovall.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Mike.
And I don't know if the mayor will be able to answer this or some of you all will be able to answer this, but as a community liaison, I would like to know, have any changes been made for us on Renshaw and Jack Brown? Can y'all know that?
Michael, you know we can't speak on things related to personnel matters.
Okay, so when do you all think you would be able to give that update to the community, and will you do it on a press conference?
So there might be something coming out about one, but for anything to come out regarding discipline, things of that nature, it would have to come out in a public meeting with them involved in it. Yes, with an appeal or something like that. We just are not at liberty to make
I know what
those.
you're saying. So in other words, you're saying that go to the personnel board and all that kind of stuff whenever if something comes out.
Yeah, but you would see notice of that there's going to be an appeal or something of that nature.
Okay, so we just asking that you all will keep the community updated so that we'll know what's going on, so that we won't keep standing up here saying the same thing over and over.
I think to your point, and I said this 2 Fridays ago or whenever, or I guess it was in the newspaper, we should release any information that we can according to the law.
Yeah.
And I do know that, and we've had this conversation about personnel for a long time, and you acknowledge that. We can't because of laws, because of the merit system, because of the process on certain things. But if we can give any information that is legal to give, we should. So I'll say that.
Yeah, I just think it brings the temperature down a little
Yep.
bit.
Agreed. Sarah?
Okay, I personally want to touch on the fact that people who come here and sign in cannot choose to share their allotted time anymore. I would like to point out that the Friday before we were told this, Jacob held a press conference sharing he would support and request a third-party investigation on the police department. Let me mention that this is something we have asked for, and it could have been done long before the 8-month mark. And honestly, I question when they do find wrongdoing, because we know there is, will anything actually be done about it? Because that's the issue. Not whether it has happened, because it did happen. It happened to me, and it happened to other people here. There is no doubt it has happened, but will something be done about it? But my main point is Jacob chose to make that announcement of the investigation as doing something for the movement. Only, though, to then come in on that following Monday and make an announcement that he would not allow people present in the city council meetings to share their minutes. My immediate thought was, you're playing both sides. Do for one side, so then he felt he had to do for the people on the other side who want us silenced at these meetings. I will say I do not support anyone who is playing the fence. There is only one side for this, and that's justice for Steve.
Thanks, Sarah. I will address that. I did not make the decision to put on an agenda to move forward with a third party to placate any side. I did it because I do think it's the right thing to do. As I explained last week, allowing sharing of time has never been allowed that I'm aware of. You could correct me if I'm wrong. Ever in these chambers. I did that. I thought I probably made a mistake by allowing that. I did it with good intentions early on and allowed it for 7 months. If I was placating the other side, I would not allow any public comment at all. And I'm never going to do that. So I do appreciate the concern, and I'm glad to have a conversation about that. But you can't go to any meeting like this that I'm aware of anywhere around. I saw people mentioning congressional hearings, sharing of time. Well, those are members of Congress that are actually allowing other members of Congress to have their time that they're yielding when they're yielding time. So again, glad to have any type of conversation with that, but appreciate it.
And I'll respond to the other part that you, I can't respond to that part, Sarah, but the part where you asked if anything will be done if the third party finds fault or wrongdoing. I can't speak for anyone but myself, but I do think that if the third party legitimately finds fault, that it would be negligence on this administration's part if nothing was done. So I'll say that. Again, I can't speak for anyone but myself, but that's my feeling.
I agree. Anissa?
I just had a few simple questions. The first one was, have you all found some way to prepare for I know it's going to take time, but has there been a discussion about preparing for the information that may come from the third party?
Not other than I do expect it to be public. What is legally allowed to be. And then as far as how those things are handled, you kind of have to, everybody gets, you're not being proactive. I can't proactively prepare for something that I don't know what it's going to say. So we have to be reactionary to what we find, what is found, but I don't know if that answers. But.
No, that's fine. Do you know if they reach out and speak to people within the community?
My expectation in talking to Mr. Green and his team is that, yes, they likely will speak to members of the community, as well as potentially members of the administration, elected officials.
Okay. And to you, McMasters, have you got a better understanding of the independent review process?
Just no more than what I've heard from the council president and media outlets. I haven't spoken with Mr. Green. I've reached out once, waiting on him to call back.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks. I don't see Danielle. She's not here. Justin.
Good evening. It's been like 3 city council meetings now. What are your responses to my questions?
What are your questions?
Well, let's watch the city council meeting again, that I asked you questions to get back to me, and I gave you a leeway of a city council meeting, and then you still never got back to me.
What are your questions, Justin? I've never not.
You want to rewatch the city council meeting? It's all public record. You mean you didn't take notes, and you said, I will get back to you. That's what you told me, right?
Let me look. Yeah, we took notes. But if you know them, you could probably speed up my chicken scratch rating and give them to me.
Well, I expect a professional to be able to, keep his word and get back with his constituents.
There's
look.
one you asked about Renshaw. There's one. What's your specific question, Justin?
Well, obviously you don't care. So say again?
Me not remembering what your question was from a week ago is me not
Oh,
caring.
no, it wasn't a week ago. This was numerous weeks ago that you assured me that you would get back to me, but heaven forbid I count on my councilman to keep his word. So, you could either be for me or against me. And,
I'm not against you,
we
Justin.
could
I
either
don't
work
remember
together
what your
or we could, Are you planning on running for re-election?
I don't know that yet.
When will you know?
I don't know. It's over a year out.
Because have you gotten threatened to get arrested yet?
Threatened to get arrested?
Yeah.
No.
For jaywalking? It's funny when it's asked of you, but when it's threatened of me and when I was made fun of my disability, it's funny, right? But it's okay for you to do it, right? Right in front of City Hall, right where I was threatened with arrest by your officers. But, heaven forbid some people scream outside your house. Meanwhile, you want to swap houses? Do you want to swap houses?
Justin.
Because apparently you're afraid of people screaming, but you don't feel that I have a valid concern to be worried in my own household, but you have to deal with people screaming? Really? You want people to feel sorry for you?
Disturbing the peace is an ordinance violation in the city of Decatur. Okay?
I would much rather somebody sit outside my home and do that than what happened outside my home.
I can understand that.
Do you consider that disturbing the peace?
Yes, sir.
You said you do? So are you pushing for charges?
I'm not going to answer more of your questions, Justin.
So we see how much you support veterans, right?
I support veterans.
How?
I'm not going to do this with you, Justin.
You're going to support veterans by not answering.
That's not, you sitting here doing this Q&A, I'm not going down that path with you.
Why not? Are you afraid you're going to get upset or?
No, it's just your attitude towards it.
But I had to deal with your attitude though upstairs that one day.
Okay.
That's okay.
I thought I was hospitable.
Did you accept my invitation?
No,
But I accepted yours though, right?
you did.
Seems like I'm a little more hospitable than you are. It's my opinion.
Thanks, Justin. That is everyone I had signed in. Is there anything else from the council? Mayor? All right, we're adjourned. Thanks.